In my last video, I spoke about how, over a period of years, the recurrence of big and small, uncanny, unlikely coincidences, and other strange happenings in my life gradually convinced me that through them, an all knowing, all powerful entity was making their presence felt. Today, I want to talk a bit about how certain extraordinary experiences of other people have added further dimensions to this awareness for me. One afternoon last year, I watched a program full of the first hand accounts of near death experiences, NDEs. The more I listened to details that felt impossible to dream or make up, such as facts or happenings verified later that the survivors could not possibly have known, and common features many NDEs shared, such as a feeling of uniting with an all knowing, all embracing consciousness, the more it felt as though these people had known in whole a dimension I had only glimpsed. In the course of the most extreme of experiences, they had been flooded by the awesome fullness of an entity whom my everyday waking attention had perceived only in discontinuous flashes. But I felt convinced it was the same entity, omniscient, ever present, who perhaps chooses multiple ways to manifest through near death experiences or at certain times and planes of meditation or worship, or beyond a gateway opened up by specific substances such as psilocybin, or indeed disguised within the details and flow of ordinary life as I believed I had encountered them. And over an especially long walk that afternoon with our dog, it was the cumulative implications of my own experiences over many years and these other profound ones I had been learning about that first staggered, then exhilarated me. Above all, that was the day I crossed a personal threshold of conviction that God exists, that they wish for us to recognize this and reach out in all sorts of ways, and also that they might be with us on either side of physical death. And finally, that everything changes if and when one reaches this point of belief. Each moment of living, each connection to another, each time we think about our own passing, each loss. If God underpins all of it, if they are truly nearby at all times, everything is inconceivably different. And that is what I want to share with anybody else who may be watching and is on some stage of such a journey themselves. That whenever you pass that threshold, by whatever means of approach has brought you there, your own experiences or practices, or those of others that have impacted you deeply, hold on at all times to that most transformative of realizations and try to live constantly by its light. That God exists and that they wish for us to feel this on this side and the other. That on this side, we have the GPS that I spoke about earlier, accessible by a range of means: faith, prayer, teachings, meditation, or, as in my case, mindful attention to everyday living. And going by the accounts of those who may have glimpsed the other shore, perhaps no GPS will be necessary upon arrival there, for us or for our loved ones, because instantaneously and absolutely we might merge into our ultimate destination. From that day on, February 29th it was, of 2024, a day for making leaps. In very many things, my fear has disappeared. Or perhaps a more accurate and honest way to put it would be to say that I've been living across two levels: the ordinary human being who manages to remember the single most extraordinary realization he has reached, and the ordinary human being who, amid the unrelenting onrush of life, keeps losing sight of it and returns, at least temporarily, to feeling lost, broken, confused, and forgotten. Which is why I came up with some personal mantras to chant under my breath that help the clouds to clear whenever life and its apparitions and outright falsehoods and partial truths come between me and the light of the deepest, most strengthening, comforting, completing truth that I have found. I wanted to share one of them with you, but before I do so, to also thank each and every NDE survivor who has ever shared their story for the extraordinary courage and generosity they have shown, as well as to the doctors, researchers, counselors, friends, and family members who made you feel listened to and supported. Many others like me wouldn't have half our strength without you. Here is one mantra that helps me. Live like someone who knows. Flow like someone who knows. Glow like someone who knows. Thank you.